They were worshipped as icons and feared as monsters. In the shadows of Prohibition and the Great Depression, a new elite rose, armed with bullets, blood, and unrelenting ambition. These were not just gangsters, they were architects of chaos, sculptors of fear, and kings of a world built on corruption. As their portraits come to life, look closely, because behind every smile lies a killer. Joe Masseria, a mob boss during the Prohibition Era. Masseria was known for orchestrating ruthless killings to strengthen his control over organized crime in New York. His brutal reign ended when he was assassinated in 1931 as part of a power struggle. As the photo comes to life, his cold gaze reflects the calculating mind behind countless murders. Joe Masseria was a fearsome figure. His ambitions sparked power plays among rivals, including Johnny Torrio, who would soon dominate the scene. Johnny Torrio, known as the Godfather of Chicago, Torrio was a master strategist who built the city's underground empire on gambling and alcohol during Prohibition. His mentorship of Al Capone forever changed organized crime. As the photo gains color, you see the fierce ambition sparking behind his calm demeanor, a kingmaker in a world of chaos. Johnny Torrio carved his legacy through cunning alliances. Another rival emerging from the shadows was the infamous Al Capone. Al Capone, the face of organized crime, Capone ran Chicago's lucrative bootlegging industry, amassing wealth and power through violence and corruption. His infamous rule ended when he was imprisoned for tax evasion, but his legacy endures. As the photo flickers to life, you sense the unrepentant swagger of a man who feared nothing, but ultimately fell. Al Capone was a notorious crime lord. Right alongside him were other figures like Frank Costello, who sought to capitalize on Capone's model of power. Frank Costello, known as the Prime Minister of the Underworld, Costello was a cunning and charismatic mobster who effectively navigated the world of politics and crime alike. His connections with politicians helped eliminate his rivals. As the photo comes alive, you can see the charm that masked his treacherous heart. Ever calculating, ever cunning, Frank Costello thrived in alliances. Merging business and crime was key, just as Lucky Luciano was about to do on a larger scale. Lucky Luciano, the architect of modern organized crime, Luciano consolidated rival gangs, establishing a national crime syndicate that influenced American mobsters for decades. His strategies laid the groundwork for a criminal empire. As the image transforms, you recognize the brilliance in his gaze, the mind of a master manipulator reshaping the darkness of the streets. A financial mastermind emerged alongside him, Meyer Lansky, whose genius was about to steer the mob's fortunes. Meyer Lansky, often regarded as the financial mastermind of organized crime, Lansky was instrumental in establishing Las Vegas as a hub for mob operations. His sharp mind turned crime into a lucrative business. As the photo shimmers with color, his calculating expression reveals a man who turned vice into fortune without hesitation. While Lansky handled finances, Bugsy Siegel's ambitious developments brought glamour to the mob, reflecting a more public face of crime. Bugsy Siegel, a notorious mobster linked to the development of Las Vegas. Siegel's extravagant lifestyle and ruthless ambition made him a legend. His ill-fated attempt to create a gambling empire ultimately led to his demise. As the image pulses to life, his daring and brash nature comes forward, an architect of dreams with villainy lurking beneath. Bugsy Siegel's lavish plans attracted attention. Alongside him were ruthless figures such as Machine Gun Kelly, infamous for his criminal endeavors during this era. Machine Gun Kelly, an infamous gangster during the Great Depression, Kelly became notorious for his violent crime sprees and high-profile kidnappings. His exploits captured the public's imagination, but law enforcement finally caught up with him. As the photo awakens, his trademark smirk reveals a man who thrived on chaos, ready to pull the trigger at any moment. Machine Gun Kelly was ruthless in action, much like Bonnie Parker and her partner Clyde Barrow, who captured the nation's fascination with their exploits. Bonnie Parker. As one half of the infamous Bonnie and Clyde duo, this bold and beautiful outlaw was a thief and a murderer who captured the hearts of the public during the Great Depression. Their violent crime spree became legendary. As the image breathes life, the fierce glint in her eye evokes the thrill of a life lived on the edge. Loving and lethal. Clyde Barrow matched Bonnie's intensity, sharing not just love, but the bloodshed that would become their legacy. Clyde Barrow. The other half of the Bonnie and Clyde saga, Barrow was a cunning criminal with a knack for heists and a penchant for violence. His adventures with Bonnie made them folk heroes, but their end was tragic. As the photo illuminates, you see the reckless fire of a man who lived for speed and danger. Unafraid, unstoppable. Clyde Barrow's boldness rivaled that of other notorious criminals, including John Dillinger, a legendary bank robber of his time. John Dillinger, a notorious bank robber who became a symbol of the Great Depression. Dillinger was famous for his daring escapes from law enforcement. His charismatic persona made him a public icon, quickly turned into a hunted man. As the image comes alive, you sense the thrill of danger etched into his features, an outlaw living life on the razor's edge. With Dillinger's celebrity status, others like Pretty Boy Floyd emerged, creating a storm of crime that fascinated American audiences. Pretty Boy Floyd. Known for his charming appearance and violent bank heists, Floyd was a notorious criminal during the Depression era. Lawmen and the public viewed him differently, a Robin Hood or a ruthless murderer. As the photo gains life, his boyish grin belies a darkness that sought to rob banks and hearts alike. Pretty Boy Floyd carved his name in infamy, just as Albert Anastasia struck fear into rivals with his chilling reputation. Albert Anastasia, a feared mobster in New York, Anastasia was known for his ruthless methods, earning him the nickname Lord High Executioner. His violent reputation created an empire based on intimidation and fear. As the photo revives, his piercing stare reveals a man for whom death was merely a tool of trade. Albert Anastasia's brutality mirrored the chaos of Dutch Schultz, another figure whose violent clashes would send shockwaves through the underworld. Dutch Schultz, a Brooklyn mobster, Schultz was infamous for his control of the illegal beer trade and brutal tactics against rivals. Fulminating with paranoia, he met his end in a gangland execution. As the image comes to life, you see a frantic mind, rife with anxiety, always looking over his shoulder. Dutch Schultz's fears drove him to madness, much like Vincent Mad Dog Call, whose violent outbursts made him one of the most dreaded criminals of his time. Vincent Mad Dog Call, a violent mobster known for his brutality. Call earned his nickname through his ferocious nature and willingness to kill without hesitation. His reckless actions ultimately led to his downfall. As the photo shimmers, you feel the rage bubbling beneath the surface of a man who turned violence into a captivating sport. Vincent Call's reckless fame turned deadly, much like Jaime Weiss, a mobster whose ambition ignited fierce rivalries in the gangland. Jaime Weiss, an ambitious mobster of the Chicago outfit. Weiss was known for his violent attempts to seize power. Despite his fierce reputation, he was ultimately gunned down as rivals sought to claim control. As the photo gains vibrancy, the intensity of his ambition echoes. A man who stopped at nothing in the pursuit of power. Jaime Weiss faced deadly foes, much like Ma Barker, whose influence over her sons created a crime family of infamy. Ma Barker, a notorious matriarch of a crime family, Ma Barker was more than a mother. She was a criminal mastermind who influenced her sons' violent careers. Her reign ended in a deadly standoff with law enforcement. As the photo animates, her fierce demeanor showcases a woman unafraid to take charge in a world of men. Ma Barker's maternal instincts were tied to mayhem, rivaling babyface Nelson, another criminal whose quick temper led to his own destruction. Babyface Nelson, a bank robber known for his quick temper and deadly reputation. Nelson was a major player in the criminal underworld. He was eventually killed in a shootout, cementing his legacy as a feared thug. As the photo comes alive, his youthful face reveals a chilling killer, a boy's visage hiding a heart of darkness. Babyface Nelson's fierce reputation was echoed among the others in this brutal world. Like Dean O'Banion, a major rival in the mob, Dean O'Banion, a leading figure in Chicago's North Side gang, O'Banion was known for his ruthless ambitions and violent clashes with rival gangs. His rivalry with the South Side led to his brutal assassination. As the image hums to life, his confident smirk signifies a man who dared to challenge the fiercest opponents. Dean O'Banion's ambitions drew the attention of other power players, including Meyer Lansky, whose strategic mind navigated the tumultuous waters of organized crime. Loyalty built empires. Betrayal ended them. In this world, you're either in the crew or in the ground. So if you made it this far, you've earned your cut. You've proven your loyalty. Now do the one thing that keeps the family strong. Hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and ring the bell like it's a mob warning shot. Welcome to the underworld. We don't forget our